What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another account progression video. Alright, so it is time to get another tier 3 character for me, and this is going to be my 5th tier 3, and that's going to be Luna Snow. So yes, it's finally time to get her to tier 3. I've had her ready to go for a while, just, I don't know, I've been holding off on getting her to tier 3 just because I already have two other speed tier 3 characters, so this will be my third speed character at tier 3, and I was kind of debating if I really need 3 of them, but Luna Snow, she's fun to play with her new Andromeda uniform here, and she's looking pretty strong at tier 3, so I figure, you know what, it's time to get her to tier 3. I've kind of held off long enough that I saved up enough materials now that I can tier 3 another character after her if I really want to, so I shouldn't be left behind too much if I tier 3 her. So let's go ahead and take a look at her before we tier 3 her. So I don't have much Uru on her. Well, got most of them. I got 3 out of the 5 slots for the Uru right now. I haven't really decided what I'm going to fill in the last slots with. Of course, one of them should be energy attack, and then the last one I'm still debating on what I'm going to put there because I am going to be changing my cards pretty soon, so I think I'm going to be losing some skill cooldown, so I might need to save 1 or 2 of these slots for skill cooldown if that ends up being the case. So that's why I haven't filled any of this in yet. For her skills here, I have all of them leveled up just because I'm getting her to tier 3, so I might as well just kind of complete her out. And then for her Isolate set, we have Power the Angry Hulk, and I did go ahead and get it fully awakened because when she first was announced at getting her tier 3, I did work on her to get her kind of ready for tier 3, and yeah, as you can see, it's taken me a while to actually get around to doing it. And then the Obelisk here is a immune to guard break, cold damage with a 200% proc, so a really nice Obelisk on her. So that's also another reason why I decided to take her to tier 3, because I do have some pretty nice stuff on her. And I've been having trouble rolling another really good Obelisk, so if I do rank up like Mr. Fantastic to tier 3 or something like that, I don't have a really good Obelisk for him right now, so that's another reason why I decided to go with Luna for right now. Our uniform is only at rare, so I haven't worked on her uniform very much, but that's because she is a premium character, so I do need to get the bio sub to get some of her biometrics for the uniform, and I don't have any tickets right now for the uniform, so I'll probably sit there like that for a while now. Her details here, you can see we have ignore defense and skill cooldown pretty much maxed out. There's only what 0.7% or 0.8% there for 0.08% there for skill cooldown. The crit rate, that's decent at 48%. I like to get around 50% to be kind of satisfied with the performance there. And then we have 140% for crit damage. It's a little bit low, and our attack speed is looking pretty good at 124. So yeah, now that all of that is out of the way, let's go ahead and actually get her to tier 3. So as you can see, I have been saving up for a little bit because we have 1800 of the cosmic cube fragments, and yeah, those things are kind of a pain in the butt to get, so I wanted to make sure I had a decent amount of them before tier 2ing or tier 3ing my next character. So let's go ahead and get this done. Let's see what her tier 3 is going to look like for this little animation here. Very nice. She's on stage, ready to do her performance. Tonight is her tier 3. Awesome. So let's see what her tier 3 actually is. Haven't read this out yet. So we have freezes the enemies for 1 second, and then apply to self. We have an 80% chance to basically penetrate. Is that everything? Super armor barrier, shield, all damage, immune, and invincible. So yeah, she'll penetrate everything. She gets a 7% HP recovery, really nice. She accumulates 10% of true damage dealt to the enemy. And then what does that go up to? So 1% all attack for each 1% accumulated, so that's only a 10% boost to her attack there, so that's not too crazy. And then we have 100% chance for all damage immunity for 6 seconds, so really nice. She gets damage immunity from this, so that is good. It's not invincible, so you do want to get a immune to guard break obelisk on her if you can, because it should really help with her just skills in general, because she does get guard broken quite easily. She does have, you know, some iframes that she can rely on, but you don't really want to get guard broken out of all of your skills. And yeah, let's go ahead and share this with the alliance here. Lunar Frost, eh? All right, awesome. So now that we have our 5th tier 3, so as you can see, we'll scroll over here. So these are what my tier 3 characters are looking like. Yeah, so we've got Deadpool and Spiderman rounding out my other 2 speeds, and then we have Thor and Sharon Rogers there. So Pretty sure my next tier 3 will probably be Mr. Fantastic, because I do want to get a combat going in the mix there. I don't have Black Panther's uniform, so I'd have to work a lot on Black Panther if I decided to get him to tier 3. And then Cap, I mean, I do have Cap. I don't know, he's at level 70. I haven't worked on his gears yet, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. I don't know, I'm curious to know your guys' opinion on that. Who do you think I should tier 3 as a combat character? Because I will buy Black Panther's uniform if you think that he is going to be my best option here. But out of Captain America, Black Panther, and Mr. Fantastic, who do you think I should work on getting to tier 3? As of right now, I want to get Mr. Fantastic to tier 3. That's my choice so far. But let me know in the comments below if you have experience with all 3 of the characters, or think that one is better than the other. Feel free to let me know. But anyway, let's get back on track here and go talk more about Luna Snow. So let's go ahead and actually get into some gameplay now, so we can test out our freshly tier 3 Luna Snow and see how she performs. We'll do some World Boss Ultimate and also some Giant Boss Raids. So let's go ahead and hop into that gameplay now. Alright, so here we are, it's World Boss Ultimate. We have Ebony Maw, and we're going against stage 49 with Luna, which is the highest stage that I have right now. I haven't been able to beat this in 100 seconds, so I haven't been able to get past stage 49. But anyway, we're going to be using Misty Knight for the full damage leadership, and then we do have White Fox for her tier 2 passive, because Luna Snow does have the leadership tag, so she can take full advantage of White Fox's very nice tier 2 passive. So we're just hopped in here, and I'm still not very good at Luna Snow's skill rotation. I always seem to have trouble timing my damage proc, but what I'm trying to do here in terms of the damage proc is I use the second skill, and then I dash back and forth to let the second skill get the kind of lingering ice damage, and then I use the first skill, get partway through the first skill. I like to let it run as long as possible, but I don't want the damage proc to trigger, and then of course I hop into the third skill for my damage proc. And then when I do have the sixth skill or her ultimate skill available, I try to do the second skill and then the first skill, but then instead of using the third skill, I go into the ultimate skill and try to get the damage proc there. After the third skill, I like to do either the fifth skill for the damage immunity, or the fourth skill to get that kind of instant entice now, which is really nice that it does start at the beginning of the skill. It makes her a lot more useful in World Boss Ultimate because it helps out her survivability. It also helps to make sure, in the case of Ebony Maw here, you can keep him locked down so he's not teleporting all over the place and interrupting your skill, so it really helps her to actually get her damage across. But anyway, I'm kind of just, as you can see, bumbling through here, and this is actually my first play with her against Ebony Maw. So after tier 3ing her, there was no trials or errors or losing. This was literally my first time jumping in against Ebony after tier 3ing her, and as you can see, she's doing just fine. I wasn't having any issues with survivability, and her damage is looking good, because for stage 49 here, pretty much only Scarlet Witch was clearing it consistently for me. I could do it with my Emma and Psylocke, but they a lot of times will run out of time if I'm not like playing perfectly, so I need to make sure like every damage proc goes off good. As you can see here with Luna, I am messing up the damage procs quite a bit, and she's still on pace to clear. It is going to take the entire time, but she is on pace, and her tier 3 skill charging up quite quickly is really nice because it does dish out some really nice damage, so I really like having the damage proc on there. I think a lot of other people actually use the tier 3 skill, and then you can cancel the tier 3 skill after part of the animation there, and as you can see, the tier 3 skill just has kind of like still ice all over the place that kind of shoots icicles in at the boss there, so you could still get the damage from the tier 3 skill even if you cancel it, and then try to have your damage proc on another skill so that it kind of take advantage of all of the residual damage. But I just like to let the damage proc go on the tier 3 skill and try to line up before the tier 3 some of the extra kind of residual effects. And also, I'm not running a CTP of energy, so I don't get the chain hit damage anyway, so I'm just running a 200% damage proc on her. So yeah, There we go, 17 seconds left. She was able to clear it, which is really nice. I'm very impressed with Luna's damage, so I'm quite happy with that result. The survivability was excellent, the damage was good. She just felt really, you know, nice to play, so I'm very happy that I've tier 3'd her so far. Don't mind having the extra speed character, kind of filling up my tier 3 list there, overinflating my speed characters. So here we have Giant Boss Raid. We have one random with Agent Blake there, but then Jontron actually hopped in. He's an alliance mate. He saw that I just tier 3'd Luna and was asking about her and said he wanted to kind of see her in action. So while I was recording this clip, he jumped in to see what she could do, and his Sharon Rogers does not have a damage proc on her, so keep that in mind if you're going to try to compare tier 3 Luna and tier 3 Sharon Rogers in this case here. As you can see, I did take a few hits there, but the healing is so nice on Luna that it didn't really matter. I could just heal back up quite nicely. It's not too big of an issue to let the 4th skill play all the way out to get that healing. Then of course, as you can see there, that damage immunity in the 5th skill really helped me out. So we're just clearing through, so now we can finally do some damage to Master Mold. And then I think, yeah, I popped the 5th skill right there because I know the damage proc is still a little behind. And then I just went 1st skill right into the 6th skill to guarantee that my damage proc went off on the tier 3 skill. As you can see, the damage was pretty nice, but from just that right there, I wasn't super impressed with that. I was hoping for a little more melting of the health bars there, but yeah, that damage proc was a little bit better. We of course had Sharon there doing a little bit of help for us. As you can see, he's running around with me. All right. So now we are hopping back in. I was just checking right there to see the comparison on the damage, because when I first jumped into this, I did not know what his Sharon Rogers looked like, and then after recording this, I wanted to check her build just so I could do a quick comparison. So now, as you can see, this is where we can really see her damage, because once Master Mold is in this standing phase, he gets a lot tankier, and it's a lot harder to kind of dish out consistent damage on him. So yeah, I was really happy when I started seeing those health bars melt there, because we're only 2 minutes in, so this is still a pretty quick clear for Giant Boss Raid. And before this, when I was trying her at tier 2, she had damage to clear it at tier 2, but I definitely needed to have 2 other competent support or allies with me, I guess, to get through it. And her survivability was really bad. Like at tier 2, I swear if like Master Mold like waved his hand in my direction, she would die. She just got one-shotted so often. But at tier 3 here, it looks like I have a little more wiggle room. It looks like I don't get one-shotted nearly as often. She can take significant damage in one chunk, though, of course. Like, I can get knocked down to about 20% left. But luckily, I wasn't actually dying from any of the hits, so her survivability is definitely a lot better at tier 3 here. It's probably just the stat boost, or maybe just even the more consistent healing. But yeah, we're down to the last 5 bars here, so about to finish it off. One more damage proc will probably do it. Freezing all of the mini sentinels, that's pretty cool. Looking right there. So another damage proc here. This time it's going to be on the 3rd skill. Well, mistimed it a little bit. And down Master Mold goes. Popping our tier 3 skill there, getting a nice little twirl from Luna to finish that off, and we did 65% of the damage. So that was 3 minutes 16 seconds with 41 million damage, 41.5 million. So yeah, overall very, very impressed with Luna Snow at tier 3. Her damage output fantastic, and getting that extra bit of health and defense from just a natural tier 3 stat boost seemed to be enough to help out her survivability to not make her quite as much as a glass cannon as she used to be. So now you actually have a little bit of wiggle room. You can actually heal back up. You can survive a few hits. She's still pretty squishy, but nowhere where she was at tier 2. So yeah, overall, very happy with Luna here. I definitely would recommend her as a tier 3 out of the current options that we have right now at the time of recording this. But anyway, that's just going to be my thoughts on tier 3 Luna Snow. Let me know if you have her at tier 3. Let me know if you're enjoying having her at tier 3, or if you regret tier 3ing her. I'm curious to know, so yeah, let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be it for this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.